is Pass the Aisle with Kevin.
And Meg.
And today we have another special show. We're going to start off with a little tasting of Johnny Walker's All the Labels. And then we're going to dive right into what we did in the past week, things we came across within our marriage. I think last week we spoke a little bit, or I spoke a little bit about business a little bit too much. So we're going to dive in more about what we went through in our relationship within this week. And yeah, let's start it. Anything
Alrighty.
you want to add to the intro?
Yeah, welcome everyone. So we're getting better and better and better at doing this, but it's pretty free form. We're going to try to keep our mouths at the mic. I remind you to keep your mouth at the mic and myself, because it always messes up the audio, and I think it'll be a better listening experience for everyone. So we can keep little thing in the back of our mind, and yeah. So let's go ahead and start.
All right, let's start it.
Yeah.
So you're going to walk over there and just kind of film a little bit?
I'll film you,
okay,
yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
We're going to step away from the mic now.
Wait. That won't make sense for this.
So how am I going to pour and be right here? It's not going to work.
Okay, you go, and I'll move this camera.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
How with that camera?
Is it?
It's just faced towards here.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a very highly produced show.
Yeah.
As you can tell. Okay, go.
All
go.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if it'll make it.
Did it make it?
Kind of.
All right.
Kind of. Okay. Cool. Kind of. And then this one will be on you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, here we go. We're going to open this. I'm not going to read anything in the back.
Can you move over to me a little bit? Yep.
Okay.
Now you're in frame.
Cool.
So what are we trying first?
So we're just going to pour a little bit of each.
Okay.
All these glasses. We're not going to do a blindfold taste because we never tasted any of these before, so it doesn't make sense to do a blindfold.
Called a blind taste.
Oh, it's a blind taste.
Yes.
We're not blindfolding ourselves.
Okay. Yeah.
That was hard, by the way.
Yeah, I think we did it wrong.
That's the black label. Double black, like I said. The Gold Reserve. And
Anyway, I don't think that they can hear you, so I'll be speaking. So we have Blue Label.
Can't hear you on this.
We have the 18 Gold. We have the Double Black, and we have Black Label. So we've got a couple of.
I think you're better at pouring.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's pouring. Wow, you're really excited, huh? You're going to do the whole thing?
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
Oh, I shouldn't mix it, though.
No. Okay, stop hitting the glass. You don't need to do that.
That's why I said you should do it. You want to do it?
You stop hitting the glass, Bev.
Do it.
No, you just learn. It's okay.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Okay.
Wipe it. Water it down.
Yeah, you can wipe it. Okay. Anyway, so a couple things that we're gonna talk about this week while you pour all that stuff. What did go on this week? We did. So finally, we're kind of rounding up just for some housekeeping business wise. Like, we're getting better at working as a team. So, a lot of stuff was like, how do we do email? How do we transfer all the email to me? And how do we make sure that we don't let things kind of slip through the cracks? So that's been the hardest thing about, like, when you decide to kind of scale up your business and have people take away some of the jobs that you're doing. And you, like, we had lunch with Hovik Hartunian from Hovik Hartunian Events. Is a very, very, very good planner in LA. We had lunch with him yesterday, and we were talking about, like when you start scaling up, you relinquish 100% control, quality control, as he called it. But in order to gain more freedom for your own life, because the thing that we do in weddings is very like it's in service. So it's you checking the email, it's you checking into the job, it's you checking out of the job, but it's just a very um, solo venture where it's like, dude, you do everything in your business. So as you get older, and we've been in the business now for 10 years, going on 11, we're finding that, hey, we've been out of balance and we've given everything to the business. It's kind of like, the way that I think about it is like, maybe to make the comparison, even though we haven't had kids, is like maybe having a kid before you get married or before you even give yourself a chance to like live a little bit on your own and discover who you are. So we really just put the business before everything a lot of the times, right? So now it's like, okay, the kid is grown up a little bit, and now we can like breathe a little bit, and we can maybe think about and even talk about other things besides the kid, right? So, I mean, if I just make that comparison, I know that it's really tough to be a parent, just because we have a lot of friends who are parents, and they tell us their stories. And I'm like, that kind of sounds like how we feel about our business. Oh, you're back.
Well, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I just, I got to move the thing towards you.
All
Okay,
right.
so what are we trying first?
So we're trying the Black Label here, and just doing a color comparison. It looks the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just taste it, because I don't want the whole show to be about whiskey.
Okay.
We'll do a whole thing about your tasting. We'll do a completely different recording on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can just have some, taste it, and then come back to the purpose of this show.
Are you going to enjoy this, or should we just stop it right here and then do it afterwards?
Stop it right there. No, I think you should try like at least try one of them.
Just try one of them?
Yeah, or you can just try throughout the show. Just like, okay, now we're trying this, but I don't want to stop this and then all the
Well,
like,
I'm saying
you know what I
just do
mean?
all of this, and then we'll taste it after.
Okay.
Cool.
No, it doesn't really
Because
make
if we're
sense.
going to do all of this.
No, you
and-
can. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So throughout the show's like an hour some long anyway. And then you can, okay, we've tasted one. Let's get into conversation. Taste another one. Let's get into conversation.
All right, taste first.
Okay, let's try the Black Label first.
Go for it.
Can you hand it to me, please? Okay. So have a seat, Beam. I'm going to give this, so I'm going to taste some and then I'll give it to you. Oh, sorry, I'm wearing lipstick. I'm wearing lipstick.
Now we got film. Paste it towards.
Put on you?
Put on us. Face towards it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did you smell it?
I did.
Okay.
Surprisingly very fruity. Very smooth, very balanced,
Smells like the Hibiki Harmony.
and finishes with a little bit of smoke. It's very good.
Wow.
Dude, I remember when Mel brought over Black Label to our Big Bear retreat long time ago, right?
Well, I didn't drink any.
You didn't drink it? Yeah. Michael was there with us. My cousin Michael was there, and he like Michael just downed it, and I remember I was like, like I hated it, and I was so afraid of hard liquor and whiskey, and I was probably like, this was probably back in like 2013
Yeah, it's fruity.
or something, maybe, or 12 or something like that.
Apple caramel.
It's very fruit forward, so that's very surprising. And all the Johnny Walker is they're all blends and everything, so it's they're all these mix of these other whiskeys. Pretty cool. And another fact about Johnny Walker, they're the biggest producer of whiskey in the world.
This is good.
It's very good. It's very balanced.
Yeah, it's really balanced. It's like pepper, orange bitters. Very peppery,
Yeah.
salty.
It's good.
Smoky, but then it's like really smooth at the finish.
Right.
Wow, really good.
Yeah.
And I think it goes for like only $25 or $30.
No, really?
Yeah.
Black Label?
Yeah, Black Label.
I think that's the red label. It's $30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and black is like 60.
No way.
I think so. I think it's like 50 or $60. A full size bottle.
How can Black Label be $60 if the Green Label was like cheaper? That was $44.
Because it's not popular, I think.
No, I think it was high in demand, the Green Label.
Because red is like $30.
Does it? I forget the order though. Is it
It's red,
black, green, and then it's whatever this is.
but it's also due to popularity.
Mm-hmm.
So supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
So if Green Label is not readily available or it's not even in demand, most importantly, then the price will not match.
Oh, I see.
So if people don't even know about Green Label, because everybody knows about Black Label,
Mm-hmm.
so I would think as a business person you would charge more for it. So
I see.
all right,
All
so
right.
we got some of the whiskey out of the way.
I don't. Yeah. Should we stop this?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll come back and we'll try something else.
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
All right. Back to Pass the Aisle.
All right. A little sidetrack there. I think we're not going to do that again because it's so much to prepare that camera, this camera.
I thought we were just gonna drink as we talk.
I think that's hard because I don't enjoy the experience that, what we poured. It's just too hard.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
too hard for Chi. Okay.
It is
Can
hard.
I have some while we talk?
Let's go through the entire. Is it okay that it's being aired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Let's just do this.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want
One
to.
thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. I don't want to do a bunch of crap.
All right. So what happened this week?
Ooh, we got some thunder.
Thunder.
All right.
Wow, it was like right on cue. What happened this week? Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah, what
Some
happened
shit
this
went
week?
down.
So let's not dive too much into business, but I'm just going to give you like a brief rundown of what happened. Is that we got the revisions from our editors across the world, and he was pretty spot on. But I think we're editing on two different screens. He's bringing his past experiences probably and applying it to our images. Didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I developed a system. I really put in the work and put in the time to get it right because I know I don't want to do this forever. So I'm like, let's do it. I'm going to record myself, edit.
How'd you feel though when he didn't get it right?
Yeah, I got really pissed off, obviously. Yeah, because I did a freaking, how long was that video? That video editing video, like the initial one with all different types of images, all
Yeah.
different types of settings,
Yeah.
right? And it's clearly right there. But, who knows? Like, everyone interprets things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to put in the work, so
Yeah.
let's do it. I had to be patient. I had to be calm with myself. And, it's hard to say, let's enjoy the process. I did not enjoy that process, but I know for the long run, anything that you put into it, you're going to get some sort of reward for it.
Right.
So I did. He got it right the second time. And it was just the second time. That was pretty cool. Off the bat, second time. Everything matched my style.
Yeah.
It really helped. What I did was did a 2-hour recording of how I edit this photo,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah.
And I think you're still waiting on your guy. So
Still waiting on my guy. Yeah. So
how's your experience? How's your experience for
yeah.
just in regards to editing?
I mean, like, I thought I'd be getting better. Oh, I guess I am getting better at it because we're still working together. So when I think back to when we used to have people like in our team edit and stuff, and it was very frustrating for them to get down exactly what you want, even though you record it. And it's like, dude, I just did it for you. Like, how come you didn't do like the little minor things and stuff? And it is really frustrating. Like, even for me, who's not the artist, who's not the one, like, it has to be exactly the way I see it. Like, I'm trying to take on your eyes a lot of the times, or like trying to see what you see, which is really difficult. But I'm the closest one to you, so I guess it's probably better, a little bit better for me. But it's like really hard to be patient with somebody to understand your perspective, right? And like you're like, dude, why can't you just see, like cropping, for example? It seems so natural to us, and it's really hard for us, I think, both of us, to be patient with other people to see those things. But like even when you were like really mad and you were like pacing right here,
Yeah.
I didn't say shit because like I was like ready to give up too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, if I say anything right now,
Yeah.
like I'm only gonna light a flame under you, which is this very fearful, negative. I'm feeling the fear. I'm feeling that negativity or that quitting attitude where I'm like, fuck it, man. I don't want to work with these people either because they just can't get it. Like, and this is gonna be our freaking lot in life, is to edit forever. Um,
I don't know what that noise is,
is
but
that your camera?
no.
I mean, your phone?
No.
Okay. Anyway. Anyway, I just was like, okay, how can I pivot in this situation? Because in our normal pattern, like say you get angry or upset or impatient that somebody's not fulfilling their job, right? In any case. And then me, I would always be like, say something like, either I would try to coax you back into positivity or into hopefulness, but it was very not hopeful. It felt very like impossible at that moment. Like in that moment where he didn't get it, right? You're like, dude, I took all this time to make these freaking videos for you. And you still are not getting it, or it's still magenta, or it's still cold, or whatever. And I think that in that moment it was really key to go, I'm not gonna say anything.
That's great.
So like it's kind of like
I think you would have gotten a really bad reaction from me.
I would have got a bad reaction from you. I would have flamed the fire basically of negativity and fear in both of us. I still felt what you were feeling, but I was just like I was mad, probably you could tell from my face, but I didn't say anything. So I just like let you vent, I guess, like walk around, pace, and be like, what the hell, I gotta fucking do everything again. I was like, I just said nothing. And then I was like, okay. I just started thinking like, well, what if they can't get it? We're going to have to do it, and I'm going to have to accept it. So I was kind of preparing myself for that very dreaded possibility. But then I think we had dinner, and then I still wasn't saying anything. I was just doing my thing, just trying to
I think, while you were making dinner, I was thinking of plan B already, so I hit up my brother. I hit up...
I started asking like Stephanie Overstreet and Benny and Nathan, like, I didn't say anything to you.
Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, who can maybe help us a little bit or point us in the right direction? Like, they weren't really any help at all, but by the end of dinner, you were like, you were softer on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You came to soften yourself by yourself. What is that?
I think it's vibrating.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
Okay. That was really distracting. So, you came down on your own, and I was, like, impressed. I didn't say anything still.
Yeah.
Because, like, you just never know what's going to happen. So I was like, I think this is a good pivot. Take a mental note of that. Like, cool. Because normally we would just go this other way.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'm, like, totally self-aware right now. Okay, you're doing your thing. You're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a 2-hour-long video. And again, I didn't say anything.
I have to do it. Yeah. I was like,
and I was like, wow, this thing is taking a long time, but okay, cool.
What John always said, freaking livid. I was livid.
Livid, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck, man? But, like, you can, like, we came across many milestones, very similar, but in different sections within our business.
The whiskey looks so good.
Right?
Yeah.
In different sections of our business. And I'm like, this is not worth it again. Right. It's not worth keeping all this in and not do anything and bitch and complain. So I was like, let's just make a change here. This is a part of the growing pains. Let's do it.
That's great because I didn't have to say anything.
Because I was tired.
Oh, I know. I remember. We were right here.
Yeah.
We were watching, and I was already playing games, so I'm already, like, zoned out.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't bother me. But then you were like, saying like, "Oh man, it's not worth it. I'm gonna have to do everything over again or whatever."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Well, you know my tone, or you know what I'm gonna say about it, so you already know." I was already mad
Mm-hmm.
when I said that, but I was like, "You already know what I'm gonna say." And so it's like I don't have to. It's like when you have the same argument over again, and you know what you're gonna say, and the other person says the same thing. It's like, why go down that road? So I just pointed it out, like, hey, you know what I'm gonna say, right? I'm gonna try to bring us back to, hey, we got to do it eventually. It's either now or never. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's either now or never that we have to train somebody. It's lucky that we're still in our 30s. We still have the time to do it. We're not busy right now.
Yeah.
So it's actually the best time to do it or something like that. And I think you realize that on your own and how you had to process that realization for yourself, where you're like, you had to kick yourself in the butt to just do that 2-hour long tutorial, but you just
Mhm.
did it. And I didn't feel that I had to
I
tell
have to
you,
do it. I
you know?
mean, yeah, I mean, we have to keep the cycle rolling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what happened
Good job,
mainly.
B.
Yeah, good job to you as well.
Good job, B.
For
Yeah.
controlling
I
yourself.
was like,
But yeah, we had to do it. I mean, if we didn't do it, then we're not going anywhere. And like you
Right.
said, what really sparked it is that you don't want to go backwards.
right.
You already took 1% to get,
yeah.
at this stage right here,
Yeah.
right? So just another percent to get it right. Another percent. Just
Another
two
percent,
more. Yeah,
another
just
percent.
another percent.
Yep. Tony
Um,
taught us that 1% better.
Well, if you kind of think about it, we're still working on it,
Yeah.
and we're going, not be perfect at this process, but we're aiming to be providing like quality still,
Right.
in our delivery, like what Hovik said.
Right.
Don't forget about the quality of
Right.
what you provide. So I still, make sure, even though he edits everything, I still run through everything.
Of course, yeah. We have to
Yeah.
make sure what we're submitting and what we're producing is good.
Yeah, I want to make sure everything still looks consistent.
Right.
So I did my part on that.
Right.
But the cool thing is I only spend 1 hour to do that versus 14 hours sitting in the chair and edit.
Yeah.
Right? So you do have like all this time to still provide quality and control, and
Right.
and that's what we're mainly dealing with in our business right now. It's balancing our personal life and our business life, taking care of our team, taking care of our couples that believe in us, that and also communicating better
Right.
to each other and to everyone else, because
Right.
communication is so important when you're trying to grow.
Right.
Yeah.
And it gets more, like we've been learning, like what my mentor says, as you keep growing, the job doesn't really get harder. It just gets more complex. Like there's more moving parts. So like when we say, oh, it's all about communication, that's a very broad statement. There's communication with your team. There's communication with the client. There's communication with each other, the people that are running the business. There's even just communication with yourself, like, hey, self, take a break. It's been 5 hours you've been sitting in your chair. Like, it gets very detrimental if you don't have that check, that communication check within all those different aspects of your business. We have Tony on the chat.
Hey Tony, what's up, bro?
Super Jewelry Co. on the chat.
Super
Shout out
Jewelry.
to Super Jewelry Co. Kevin and Meg looking sexy as fuck. Turned. And we have Rob on the chat.
What up, Rob?
He said, that's right, Kevin looking buff.
Oh shit.
And then he said, no, double black is pricier. Okay, cool. We know
Double
what
black.
double black is pricier. So,
Oh.
Rob, we're going to do another separate show because she cannot handle two things at once, drinking and talking.
Yeah. It'll be all like slur and everything, and
Yeah, you drunk is very weird. So, and me
you
drunk
too.
is like,
You're weird.
me drunk is talking, so I could do a whole show. I could do a whole show and I'll be talking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really think I talk a lot? Like, just give me some whiskey. Okay. So, let me just check back here. So, yeah, for me on my side, like, on the editor that I'm communicating with, like, thank God we don't have too much on the lead photographer side right now, so we have time to go through the motions, learn what's the best way to teach. Like yesterday you were saying, well, like, how's your editor doing? I was like, he's all right. And then I have to do what you did. is like, how do I take the time and teach the way that he will understand, and that's not gonna that's gonna be effective, right? So for me, it's like, okay, learning again how to teach. It's another opportunity how to teach, because everybody learns differently.
But you know, this is cool though. To have you at like as a partner in life and in business, because
Thanks.
you already know it's, if I kind of think about it, if I had to do that twice to two different editors, like I'm like, dude.
Well, that's why I'm here, is to help you.
So it's pretty crazy that
help
we
us.
grown to this point
Right.
to be able to, you know, take care of people on
Right.
both ends.
Yeah. I think it's a very grateful, gracious job. Like, I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity. Like, we had lunch with Hovik yesterday, and he's a UC Berkeley graduate, and we got to talking about college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what were you gonna tell me about UCs and whatever? I think I cut you off, and I said, "Hey, we went to Cal State, and we're like bosses."
No, I was just going to say, like in the undergrad years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When I took sociology, it's such an interesting class.
What did your teacher say?
He said that people accelerate in life, right?
Yeah.
Based on who they surround themselves with. And people in the he was comparing UC versus Cal State Long Beach and everything, saying that, yeah, all you guys going Cal State Long Beach, you're surrounding yourself with Cal State Long Beach people. Like, and then he was like kind of talking down on us.
I remember that. Yeah, that's why I think I cut you off. I
Yeah,
was like, I
he
wanna
was
hear this
talking
shit.
down on
Yeah.
us in a point that he's like, oh, you guys aren't going, you know, to be where the UC peoples are going to be. But then you're like, hey, we're here.
Dude, to me, like, always kind of had a snarky attitude about college, but in a lot of ways, it's where I met you.
Yeah.
It's where I learned how to write. That I still use that skill very prominently in our business. I learned how to be a little bit more emotionally deeper, because we had that class together with Dr. Yi. And yeah, I think on a whole, like, no matter where you get your degree from,
Mhm.
the things that I learned from it was just like, okay, discipline. You can go through the motions, you can follow directions, you can win at the system, right? There's a lot of problems with our school system right now, but like, take what you can get from it, wherever you graduated from or didn't graduate from. Like, what can you do?
Mhm.
Like, show me what you can do, because once you get out of college, whether you graduated or not, you're still going to have real life problems that you have to find solutions to.
Yeah.
That maybe you
And I
didn't-
believe it's theory, though. I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
if you surround yourself with the right people, you're going to get where you want to be.
right. Do
Yeah.
you have the right
And
attitude?
you don't have to be, you know, surrounding yourself with Cal State people all the time.
Yeah.
But just saying, like, just surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
sociology teacher who was kind of talking down on you guys, it was like, well, you're teaching a Cal State class.
Mhm.
So how that must be some projecting that he was maybe saying, is like, maybe you could have taught at a UC, and maybe he thinks teaching at a UC or like a private university or something was like the ultimate accomplishment for a person, maybe like
Yeah.
in the academia field, but I think he was projecting, honestly.
Mhm.
And that's a perfect example to take, like, he's teaching sociology.
But he's cool, though.
He's
He was cool.
projecting upon you, upon students
Everyone,
that don't
yeah.
know shit
Yeah.
about life yet. You're only in college. And saying, you know, you guys are only going to surround yourself with Cal State people, and UC people are, I mean, come on. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
It seems very short-sighted to me.
But just take that theory, though, and just apply it to the,
so
you know,
you're
outside.
you're saying,
so
like,
no Cal
surround
State. Yeah, just surround yourself.
yourself with the right type of people. Oh, like what's the saying is, you are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself
Mhm.
with. So yeah, that's very true. But maybe he shouldn't have, like, his delivery, I think, was a little off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's during that time. That was
Yeah.
2007 or something.
I think
But he did predict, what I did like, he
Uh-huh.
did predict that the millennials, our generation, way back in the day in 2007.
Yeah.
He didn't. There was no there was Facebook, but there's no Instagram. There was no like Twitter yet or whatever
Yeah.
that. But he said, millennials, if you want to, you know, do well in life, you guys are going to be needing like 3 jobs. 3 jobs or more. And I was like, holy crap, that is so true, because now we're owning our businesses, and you were saying, let me get some jobs off your plate. We were doing like 8 to 10 jobs.
Right.
Yeah, 8 to 10 jobs.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how we got where we are.
Right.
So he was right about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that if you just follow like economy trends, things just get more expensive, right? As things move on. And so obviously, like, if things are not gonna, if say the economy of the United States is not like equally like giving money, or like the wage earners, it's not as equal as before. Like, you could go and earn a steady amount of money, things were not so expensive, things were not so inflated, so it just made sense. It's all relative, right? But now there's this huge discrepancy where like you're not making as much, but things are way more expensive, 3 times more expensive, let's say, for his example. And so things just don't match up anymore. Like, we've just created such a split in between what you make and how much things are, like how much a house is. It's so much more expensive now, like we were talking about yesterday. So yeah, I mean,
but diving into our past week, how about our relationship? Yeah. Because now that was a little bit too much about business, like you said.
Sociology. All right. So what happened? I think it was really fun because we got to get out of our shell a little bit. It's still kind of a blur. Like, I just remember lunch with Hovig. What else did we do? I feel like we went
I forget, like, when Thursday hits, we spoke last Thursday, and then the week just, like, goes by very quickly.
There's so much that happens in a week over here, guys.
So okay, let's
break it down.
Break it down. Friday, I photographed a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Cool-ass people. Josh and Aprilyn. We had a great time out there, if you guys are listening. So I was able to photograph with Qua. For the very first time.
Oh yeah, you can talk about that. How was that?
No, it's not about our relationship, so I'm just skimming through.
I think it's really good.
Okay,
I'm
it's
make
really
a note
good.
Of it.
All right, Qual, you listening?
It is about our relationship because I see. I wrote something in our team group, and I see so much more compassion in you, and you're a lot more self-aware, and that you care about what you always cared about what other people think, but kind of like the wrong people. Now you're caring about what your team thinks, what I think, what your clients think, and not even just on a professional scale, but more like on a personal one. You're more well-rounded now, I feel like, now that we've gone through so much.
Thanks to our gym.
Thanks to our gym, thanks to our podcast, thanks to the work between you and I within our marriage. Like, I just seen a really big change in you. Like, even the way that you talk to your mom. Like, I love this new compassionate person that you are now. Like, I feel like you're a lot more nurturing, which inspires me to be more nurturing.
Yeah.
Which you were always like, you're not nurturing, and I was like, well, I don't feel to be nurturing because I'm not nurtured either. So there was that whole other, like, you're not doing it, I'm not doing it thing before with us.
I see.
And so now it's like, when you do acts of compassion, or I see how you handle things differently now, like, it inspires me to keep that going, right? So, like, I feel like I can be very much your mirror. Like, when you're negative, I could be negative too, but it's my responsibility or my job to be in those times where I have a tendency to mirror negative things within us. I want to also just mirror positive things in us, and just help us anchor each other. And you do the same thing for me. Like, when I see you do or be compassionate or be nurturing, like, I want to be more compassionate and nurturing too. So I think that's great. And you said, I loved working with Qua.
Yeah.
And he made things fun. And I was like, that's cool. Like, when we shot together, it was probably not very fun because we weren't a good balance.
You and Qual, you mean?
No. You and I.
Oh.
Right? So, because I was really never meant to do that type of job. But now
it was different. I mean, it was growing during that time. I didn't know what the heck.
I shot with you last year, and I was like, I don't want to do this. This
Oh,
is
yeah, you
not
did
where
shoot with me, but you didn't have a good experience with the
I
dude.
I
The
did
dude.
not. Yeah.
So,
Well, not only that, it's very painful for me, which
yeah.
I feel like you don't understand that sometimes.
We didn't have anyone as a backup.
I know, I know. I know I'm the ultimate plan B, all right? But damn, I'm just trying to let you know that like that's not where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where I'm most effective
Understand.
is in the admin side, is what we do now, which I'm so grateful for that. And I'm really happy there. So I think you're doing a really good job, Ben.
And you too.
Thanks.
But yeah, photographing with Qual is awesome. I mean, Qual, you're a random dude. Like
You are crazy, but
Well,
I
you-
like it.
your energy though, like it allows me to bring out more creativity on a wedding day. Like yeah, there's a lot of challenges during a wedding.
Yeah.
Being on the other side of the camera, it may feel like, hey, the day is flowing well, but then for photographers, the day is crazy sometimes. Like you're trying to get moments. You're
Right.
trying to get really great moments, right? So you're thinking, you're running, you're walking, you're talking, you're delegating.
You're projecting to. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna happen next, so I need to be ready for that.
There's many things.
Yeah.
Psychologically
Yes.
and mentally, like you're trying to execute.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see all those pretty photos on Instagram, but they're all in controlled setting. They're all in engagement photos, or they're all elopements where the photographer chooses the background and it just happens, right? But a wedding, a 12-hour wedding, a 14-hour wedding,
Yeah.
like it's different.
Yeah.
It's like a circus.
Yeah. If you can
don't-
do that, you're ready for some stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're ready for some shit to
yeah,
go down.
it's
'cause,
crazy.
like, you know, you've been through the ringer, basically.
Yeah.
If you can do a wedding. Not many
So-
people can do it.
Well, you went through many Vietnamese tea ceremonies. I understand that, and you handled it pretty well, man. So applause.
That was our bread and butter back in the day, man. Freaking tea ceremonies. We're like, oh!
Yeah.
And, like, we would be shooting from 12 to 16-hour days.
Yeah.
All right?
From 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. all the way till 11.
Yeah, you only get a
Yeah.
break when things are being set up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's your break. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a very
So,
intense job.
I think fast forwarding to then Saturday, I
Then
think.
Saturday.
Um,
How was that? How was the next
I
day?
forget what Saturday, what we
Saturday?
did.
Did we go out?
I'm not too sure.
Every day to me is like every day is Monday, or like
Yeah.
pick a day, right?
Yeah.
Pick a day. That's the day.
Oh yeah, Saturday I had to relax a little because then I had another shoot on Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah, and
you had a
Sunday was
meeting-
cool.
No, you had a meeting Saturday.
Oh yeah, I did have a meeting.
Yeah.
All right, so I had a meeting and then I went home to relax.
Right.
So so we kind of think about it. I didn't have a weekend.
Yeah, and I said, B, I thought you were supposed to relax, and you're like,
I can't.
I relaxed 2 weeks ago.
I feel like I can't. Like I can't just like put things down.
Even though I've taken away some of the jobs off
Yeah,
your
now
plate.
more things kind of filled the plate. So
Why
it's,
do they fill the plate? Like what?
it's like I gotta fix the photo booth and
Oh, the photo booth. Yeah, you had.
Yeah, and things like that.
And
So
then you go back and forth, and you're like, why do they keep upgrading? It took you like 5 hours.
yeah,
Oh, congrats to Steve-O for passing his driving test.
yeah, man. After 4 times, man.
He was close, dude. I was gonna hire somebody else if you didn't get your damn driver's license. I was like,
Jeez,
we are
he didn't
not
get his driver's. You didn't get your driver's license yet.
Well, you're on
man.
your way.
But
You're
on
halfway
your
there.
yeah. You're almost
you're
there.
halfway there. Steve is a part of our team. He runs our photo booth. Since he was like 13 or some shit, so he's gonna be 18. Goddamn.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyways, on Monday, was just doing that re-editing type of work for 2 hours.
Right.
And then I feel that was it. It was just kind of
Monday.
fine-tuning things.
Yeah.
Spent like 5 hours in the evening and
No, you did edit this week. 'cause
Yeah,
you
I
had
did
to-
edit.
You had another
Yeah.
wedding, so and then I
But
had
this
to edit.
is yeah, I feel it
was okay.
it was a lot of tune-ups that we
Right.
had to do.
tune-ups.
A
Yeah.
little refinement.
Right.
And
And that's-
also
And that's
yeah.
good. Tune-up is better than overhaul,
yeah.
right? Overhaul is pretty hard. So yeah, we're.
But it was
tuning
cool
things up.
to end the week before our podcast here to speak with Hovik.
Yeah.
Had a relaxing lunch in the Nomad Hotel. That place is dope.
Dude, the
Like,
Nomad
that-
in LA by the where is it?
it's
Athletic Club by
yeah, near the
Cicada,
yeah.
wherever that.
It's just Disney Concert Hall, wherever.
It's a great so we were deciding like, okay, what's the use for this? And Hovik mentioned, oh, it's great for getting ready, and we agree. So if you guys are like having your wedding in LA, we think the Nomad Hotel, cuz nobody's ever mentioned it in terms of a getting ready
Yeah.
hotel in LA, but it's fantastic. And there's so much texture, and the reason why it's fantastic is so much texture on the wall. And when I say that is like there's something there's these velvet curtains, there's a lot of
It's very Victorian
detail. Yeah,
or Art Deco, Victorian.
a lot of things coming into
Yeah.
play, but it doesn't look messy. It looks very interesting.
It's
to
very
look at.
unique.
A lot of coffers on the ceiling, like really innate.
I like it
coffers.
more than LA Athletic Club because LA Athletic Club. I mean, I still like LA Athletic Club. It's just a little bit more red tones
and dark.
and it's dark. But
Yeah.
you know, if you're a guest there, it's pretty awesome. But in Nomad, it's really it's green, it's airy.
Right.
It's just a different ambiance.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. I loved it. It was very inspiring for some.
Food's
like,
good, so
Food's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
we
you
had-
guys are
we had
there,
lunch on the rooftop.
yeah,
Good
definitely
cocktails.
Yep.
Really good cocktails.
really
too.
great.
But yeah, that's a really nice place for getting ready. Ask us about it. You can DM us or anything like that. You know, if you want recommendations for getting ready locations. I think that was fantastic for sure. And then we got the word on another venue, which was like really cool to check out if you guys are.
Oh, did we?
interested.
We didn't do that. Oh, we already spoke about that.
But now we have the price sheet and all that stuff.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can say to you guys, like, I think it is pretty affordable.
It's affordable, yeah.
and it's
Especially being in
really pretty.
Irvine, yeah.
Yeah, being in Irvine, parking is really simple.
It's all
again-
valet.
Again, a lot of texture for your photos and everything. So I think that's a really good place.
The Nursery by South Winds.
The Nursery by Southwinds. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. But yeah. So other things that have been happening within the business, we'll be
Well, not
doing
business. Let's do
or within our
marriage.
marriage. But you know, they so intertwine. Well, there's just things that happen within business that, because in the same way things would happen in business and it would overflow into our marriage,
Mhm.
and it would make me feel like, oh, because they were kind of like one and the same because we did it for so long. But yeah, there's so much good I think that happened in our marriage, and it's making our business grow. Like we got an influx of what do you call it? Inquiries in January when I
Mhm.
felt like we were on the same page finally. Like now we were ready to receive, right? So when we were kind of like not really communicating very well towards the end of the year, and we were like not communicating well, but just like we still weren't there yet. We're like, this is what I think, and we still weren't really seeing eye to eye or understanding each other yet.
Mhm.
And then we did all that work with each other, and then come January after the break, we got this flood of inquiries. Is that normal? I forget. We do get a flood of inquiries, right? But did we get
yeah,
this many?
It's random.
It's
I really, but I feel like with December being the holidays, we don't. So people are waiting in January. So January is like explosive.
Right.
And then it kind of calms down, I believe, March because people are getting ready for taxes.
Yeah,
so
taxes.
and then it jumps back up in like after taxes, after April 15.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
But it's
yeah,
a little different this year because with the government shutdown, things are being delayed. So you're not getting your tax return. So I don't know how that's going to affect all businesses. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
how else has that been affecting the business?
it's not affecting us in any way. Well, it's affecting us that we can't file our taxes yet.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else, I
Yeah.
feel like if you're going to file, you're not going to get any return right away.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
they're like, why should I even file?
Yeah, yeah. So why file, right? So everyone's probably
We
going
don't get a
to
return, but you know.
yeah, everyone's going to probably file last minute
Yeah.
or wait till the government does it's open again.
And then
Yeah.
the whole last minute thing, and then you're like,
Yeah.
well, then you get your return last minute too.
Yeah,
Or
and then
you-
you get your inquiries and everything last minute as
Last
well.
minute, yeah. So
So it does kind of affect the economy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think we had some major wins this week. Sometimes it would feel before when we were first starting the podcast, like it was like going to see the therapist, where we were having issues in our marriage, and um, we'd be dealing with that and not really having a solution until we got to the podcast, until we start to see the therapist, right? And then now we have some tools to kind of work with for the next week.
Mhm.
And then for that following week, we would come up against another problem that we didn't have the solution to yet, but we would talk it out again on the podcast, again, seeing the therapist. And so this is our 10th episode. Yay!
Yay!
10 episodes in, 10 sessions in at the therapist, and now feeling very, to me, in my, so this is how I feel, is like I feel very confident. I don't freak out when I see it's something that I don't like. And I have now tools and mental cues to go, okay, I recognize that. I recognize that pattern, toxic behavior or language in both of us. What can I do to pivot that? Because I think when I was, to kind of like play off what we talked about last week in terms of how this podcast can help maybe other wives or other husbands, is like, yeah, everybody has their pattern of dealing with bad stuff. They have either, like they'll deny or not address it or ignore it. Like, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Mhm.
And then 10 years later, you still don't want to talk about it. So everybody has their way of like the habitual way they deal with conflict. And so if you can just pivot that a little bit, which is what we've done,
Mhm.
not in everything, like we're not perfect or anything like that, but having that attitude is like, dude, I don't need to change my whole life, like editing. I don't need to give every single moment of my time to teach somebody. It was like 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever. And you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And I think that's what change or pivoting in reality actually is. But in your mind, it's like this huge thing to let go of editing, or to instead of getting mad, like, don't say anything. Like, that's actually a really small thing, but actually in effect a big difference. Okay, instead of not saying anything, or instead of fanning the fire, I'm just gonna just say, well, how I would say it, or like do something different.
Yeah.
Right? And that could be said in business too. Like, you could be doing the same shit every week. Blog every Thursday.
Yeah, I do
right?
feel
How can you mix it up?
Yeah. With this podcast, it does allow us to self-reflect a lot. And it helped me self-reflect the things I did wrong, or the positive things that I did, and to hold on to that as a new tradition to our marriage and to our business. Also, allow me to kind of take it all in, go to the gym, think about it as I'm working out. It's like a self therapy, and then I come out and I'm just a better person.
Right.
So
yeah, I think it's great. And if I were to look back, it's like, dude, there was so much that we didn't address for so long, but when we put our mind to it and we had the same goal, the progress that we've made within the short amount of time, really, so let's say 6 months or something, to heal a lot of the hurt, to address a lot of the habitual patterns, to create new patterns basically, and just replace those old patterns, was actually not that bad. And everybody's happier. Everybody's where they want to be, and it's a lot better. It's very cool. And to be able to share that with other entrepreneurs who are in the field with us, when we're actually making time to go out and see other people.
yeah.
We've never done that before.
And everyone's dealing with the same experiences.
That's kind of cool to hear.
Yeah, in different ways.
Not that you're struggling, but that you're in it with us.
Yeah.
Kind of, and that you deal with the same mental challenge of running your own business, and like, dude, everything is on me.
Yeah.
Everything. But actually, it's like, if you peek your head out and say, ask for help, and even are able to receive that help, then it's actually not bad. Right?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Versus, I don't know what I used to do.
But business is complex, so I'm just saying that off the bat.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, a lot of people on Instagram kind of film, and they make themselves look like they're big, but in reality, they're probably like trying to face themselves in this business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that when I was podcasting, and this is a big reason why I stopped it when I was podcasting for myself. There was this rat race. I escaped one rat race of like working for somebody else to do another one, which is hype yourself up as much as you can, make yourself look as big as you can, that you have all the accolades that you can get just to fluff up your personal brand, just to make it seem like you're the biggest thing ever. And I didn't like it. After like 2 to 3 years of doing that, I felt empty. I wasn't on the team I wanted to be on. That's why I left podcasting. I was like, dude, and still then when I stopped podcasting, I still didn't figure out how to say or communicate to you like that I wanted to do this with you, exactly what we're doing now. And so we had like another like 3 or so years of like dicking around and like trying to figure it out. Opened my own photography company that you told me to do. and then cool, that works. And so it was like a validation, like, oh, I can actually do that. I can actually help you in the way that I think I always wanted to, which was to be this husband and wife team, doing, with our brand and doing that together. I didn't know how to like communicate it to you until recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's not about this like perfect image that I think so many people are like kind of struggling to put out in Instagram, and what everybody is surrounded with, and kind of like, oh, I'm not getting enough likes, I'm not getting enough engagement. And we even talked about yesterday how you don't get enough reach on Instagram anymore.
Yeah,
and does that even matter?
That doesn't even matter anymore.
Right?
I think all social media at one point is not going to exist, just like how Google search engine optimization just stopped after like.
You don't think it's going to exist in the future?
Yeah, it's probably going to die out because people are so tired to tapping into Facebook, tapping into Snapchat. Snapchat already died out.
Yeah.
And now they're tapping into Instagram and IG story, IGTV. It's like too much for people to handle. They just want to live life.
Right.
Right? They're going to get to a point where they don't want to live life in a mobile phone anymore. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our own teammate Marcus does not want
something so funny.
Say it.
So I'm trying to talk to the team, right? And we have our private Facebook group, like so many other businesses do. And then I create this workshop that we're going to do this weekend. And then I'm texting him. I was like, oh, I invited you. You're like, why didn't you say anything? And he's like, well, for my own mental well-being and health, we've decided not to refrain from using Facebook. And then I just found it so funny because, like, I also dealt with a lot, like I just told you guys, like, before in podcasting where it had to be all about me and personal brand and stuff, it felt very empty. I didn't feel good. And then I stopped posting on Instagram. I stopped posting things about myself and got back to me again to again, like Marcus said, for my own mental well-being and health.
Yeah.
And then, and so he's like, yeah, so Emily and I, we don't check Facebook. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just text you. But like, yeah, even our own teammates, are also checking out of.
I'm with you,
social
Marcus.
media.
I mean, I felt that like 4 years ago.
Yeah. But I'm like, I just use it to communicate with you guys. Like, how else am I going to get everybody on the same thread? Like,
Yeah.
a text is kind of annoying. An email is like, I guess that's better or whatever. So I don't know. I was trying to build some culture because we don't work all together in the same office.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. But I get you. But that's very interesting. So you make the prediction that social media will be non-existent in the future.
Yeah, I mean, probably really soon.
Yeah.
It's burning everyone else
Yeah.
minds. It's
Everybody
like,
we talk to,
yeah.
are like, oh, the Instagram is not a good reach, or I'm tired of
like
doing it.
you kind of think about it. There's many products on Instagram. They're selling things on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And to the point that there are some buyers that buy from a scam site, a scam Instagram profile.
Right.
And you just don't know. They take your money, and then Instagram will be known to be like a shady social app. And then when it has that reputation, the app is going to lose its followers, it's going to lose its hype and everything, and people are going to migrate towards another app that feels more safe and, you know, less spammy.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's completely what has happened during the whole Trump fiasco, where they're just now coming to light with this. So with Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook got hit with a lot of like fake news stuff and like, oh, fuck Facebook, because they allow people like that to be on Facebook. And so now they're just discovering that there are these troll farms. So places where you can hire a farm of people, just like you can buy links in Indonesia, right? Or wherever. There's a farm of trolls, people who just create shitty news, create inflammatory posts, create things that say, oh, wedding photography is dead, some shit like that, right? And they do that because the agenda is to get clicks, because that creates money, I guess, for their blog or whatever, and also to perpetuate this propaganda, basically, of whatever their agenda is. So the whole Trump stuff, the whole anti-Hillary stuff, like all this stuff, right? Like you could talk about that. We won't get into that. But it just goes to show, like, more and more marketing online is just getting really
fluttered,
shady sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like
shady
there's
and fluttered.
some shady shit going on.
But I feel like, and then now I feel like people are realizing that, and they're becoming more real, right? They're tired of that fakeness.
Right.
So I kind of like this interpersonal connection, meet up with your couple still. Like, I always met with my couples.
Oh, you can talk about that.
Yeah, like I love like having that conversation one-on-one or one with our couples, right? It's just more real versus, okay, let's hop on this. I mean, I understand why some of our couples have to Skype or FaceTime with us because they live in a different state. But, you know, with that being in person, it just kind of brings back more. It's more grounded. There's less bullshit around us, especially in social apps.
Right.
So if I kind of recall back to my dad's business, it's always been person to person, you know, and it lasted pretty damn long. He worked till he was like 50, and then he finally like closed it down.
Yeah.
So that was like,
I thought he was older. I thought he was older when it closed.
He was it was like 35 years or some sort.
Wow,
yeah, that's a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are going to go back. So we've had our time to be and live in our phones, and now we're kind of going back to snail mail.
Snail
mail. Today we're going to be filming a little bit of like snail mail creation, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, because like I feel like I haven't written with a pen in like ages.
Yeah.
And the dexterity in my hands is not there anymore, because I used to draw, I used to paint, I used to do all that stuff. And so I'm actually really excited to go and create something like that, and to really dive back into the art of communication in business. Now that we're doing that with each other and letting that overflow into our business and into the care of our clients and stuff like that. Like, there was a time where we weren't a very good team. We were a team, but we weren't like a happy team. And as priority, as professionals, we got shit done, and we made a very good product, and that's why we're still here. But there's only so much you can do of that, right? Like you can really work hard, and you can give everything to your job and your career, but if you don't have that balance, something's gonna crack. Something in there.
Yeah.
Because it's like a pie, and if like most of the pie is like business, what is left for anything else to live, right? And so I'm so glad that we have that self-awareness now, and that moving forward, because we want to be here for the long run. Like 10 years is kind of still a drop in the bucket, because in terms of business phases, like I feel like we're finally getting into adolescence, a true adolescent phase.
Yeah.
And then from there, maturity. So I think we're
on our way.
We're on the way, like especially with the like creating systems for email, creating systems for editing, creating systems for hiring. And we're taking our time with that, and we're not trying to put too much pressure on each other. And
we're still focusing one thing and do it 100%.
Right.
as if we had many businesses,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just growing one business, but putting 100% in each system.
In each system,
Yeah,
yeah. And
and
taking
kind
our
of think
time.
of it as if it was its own business.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
which it is.
Because it
There,
can be.
yeah,
There are businesses that just do email, that just do marketing, that
yeah,
just do editing. So it's a very, I think, legitimate way of looking at what we need to be doing. And a mantra that we have, because, like, if there's any, our entrepreneur friends, or if you guys are running your own businesses, it's like, well, dude, how do I do with all that?
yeah.
Like, that's all
Everyone
good
wants
fun.
us to eventually want to step away
Right.
at one point, right? For us, I still want to photograph. I mean, I love to do that, right? I don't want to step away from that.
Right.
But just saying that, yeah, from email, from marketing, from like the tasks that you're not supposed to do as an artist, right?
Right.
Those things
Or
eventually,
you don't want to do.
or yeah, you don't want to do, but you definitely, or my goal is, right, for our company is to, yeah, my goal
Thunder,
for our
thunder,
company
thunder.
is to have a full-on salary for each, like our entire team. Yeah.
Oh, I got my first paycheck from
Yeah.
the company today.
But just saying, that would feel so great. Like we're
Yeah.
taking care of everyone.
You know what? Okay. So just to give you validation of your dream
Yeah.
and you being able to do that for me,
Yeah.
not only like financially, but on all levels, like feeling that support, feeling that not only because you're my husband, but because the company backs me up also.
Mhm.
Like my husband and my company back me up.
Yeah.
And I'm on salary basically. So
Yeah.
I have a salary now, and I've never had that before. It was always like, Meg, just go do this,
Yeah.
and then like I'll drop some money in your account, or I'll buy you a purse or something. I'm like, cool. And so now it feels more official.
Yeah.
It feels like you've taken legitimate steps to supporting me as a worker in this company.
Mhm.
Like if you just look at it like that, like I'm not your wife or whatever, that you've taken steps to support me as a worker in your company. So I think that shows a lot of trust that people don't really, I feel like they don't feel that same like authority or umbrella or security, I guess, when they go and work for people like us, because we're a small business versus like Target or something.
Mhm.
Like, I want people to, when they work for us, have the same, use the same language as when they work for like T-Mobile. Oh yeah, we just opened up 2 more stores over here. Like,
Yeah.
you know how to say we already? Like, we just opened up. I'm like, but you're not even, and like, you're an employee, you're like an owner. But the reason why I think they feel that way is because they feel this company is supporting them with money, with a salary, with all these, SOPs and all that stuff. Is very legit. It's very legitimized. It feels very secure.
Mhm.
Versus somebody who just comes in a la carte, basically, and we hire them for a couple of gigs and then they leave.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't have the same, thinking. Like they're not 100% invested. So I think trying to build that, even though we can't really mirror a huge company, but to still have that same feeling of security with
Yeah.
us, with the company. So yeah, I'm like a validation to that dream. I'm the first one.
Let's do it many more times.
Yes. No, that's the goal. That's the goal. That would be great. Like you give us the
Well, I
best that you
tried
can
it
do.
with John.
Yeah?
I did try it. Yeah.
Well, I feel we weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
Like emotionally we weren't ready. There was no balance.
Mhm.
You're very comfortable, like you said,
Yeah.
and comfortability doesn't breed innovation.
Yeah, it didn't.
Being and it's not that you have to be stressed out. I don't think that's what it means to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortable meaning like how we kind of feel like right now. Like I'm not comfortable, but
Mhm.
I'm confident. I'm confident that we can handle the challenges that we're about to face, which is like, okay, let's systemize editing. Let's systemize email. Let's like whatever. So, yeah, I think it's okay to be uncomfortable. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, meaning, hey, you're going to have to innovate. You're going to have to adapt. Marketing will change. Social media will flop at some point and not serve you as well as it did 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And so that's the uncomfortability that I'm talking about. Not stressed out. If you're stressed out, like we were also, So we were both doubly uncomfortable and
Yeah.
stressed out. Like, get rid of the stressed out
Yeah,
part,
another
man.
thing just came to mind is that people don't realize that it's Mark Zuckerberg, it's whoever works for him, it's underneath this one guy's umbrella,
Mhm.
and they're all eating it up. And he can
Mhm.
just close it down anytime he wants, and the entire world will be like, "What the hell? I put
But
my
is it?
entire life into this Instagram to try to build a business."
Right, right, right.
So, yeah,
Email list. See, so it always went back to when I was learning about podcasting. They were like, you know what, Instagram, Facebook, they're not gonna last, but they're still here. But they were saying that back in like 2010, 2012.
mm-hmm.
They're like, build your email list, man. And I'm like, yeah, I think that still rings true.
Yep.
However many years later, we got your email, and we have a good connection. Maybe we have your phone number. Like, we can still do human things together.
Yeah.
Without social media.
Without social media. And yeah, just to say, Facebook just lost some money, so I just want to point that out to you.
Well, they're gonna go up and down. They're
Yeah.
a public company, B. So it's they've got a lot of things going on over
Yeah.
there.
And
but
Google, Google Plus
yeah,
just
Google Plus is now closing.
Yep.
Just got the notification. I was
Yeah.
like, well, we weren't using it anyway.
yeah, no one
Okay.
used it.
Finally, no one used it, and finally, 10 years later, they close it.
Yeah.
I think the point is like, yes, there's gonna be social media. Please don't take it personally.
Yeah, and
Realize
don't
that
put
it's a
your
tool.
don't
It's
put
a
your
tool.
eggs all in one basket.
You know,
Don't put
I
your
went
life
through,
in it.
Yeah, exactly. I went through a good amount of time of tying my ego and tying my self-worth to social media and how many likes and subscribers I had. Like, I did that. I did all of that shit. And now I know that when I create any sort of content past the aisle, and I create with you, or we create a tasting video like we're going to do today, like, I just create that from the pure joy of it. I want to share that, and that's it.
Mhm.
Like, so I got my first troll comment the other day, and I've been on YouTube for like since 2012, and it did bother me.
Mhm.
I was like ashamed
What did it
that
say?
it bothered me. It said
Was it relating to?
I forget now. I just remember that was
What
a troll
video
comment.
was it for?
It was one of my videos, duh.
Oh,
But
okay.
like I think it was it was my Theragun. I think it was my Theragun
Oh,
video.
okay.
Because that gets like, it's like 50K plus. Once you pass like 50K,
Yeah.
you start getting some weird comments.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's normal.
On views.
You gotta
And,
laugh at it. You gotta have fun with it.
Well, I forgot what he said, but I don't know why it bothered me. Because usually I'll get kind of trolly comments.
Mhm.
Like, not totally positive, but not totally negative. But this one was like attacking. And so I was like, this is my first attacking
Yeah.
troll comment. And I was just like, asshole.
Well, I remember when I first started, and it was only my 1 year into photography, and I
Yeah.
got a troll.
Okay.
That comment. I don't know if you remember that, but
Mm.
it was on my blog,
Yeah.
and it said, "You should clean up your client's face more."
Oh,
And I'm like,
really?
"What the fuck?" I was like, "Who the hell is this?"
I don't remember that.
Critiquing my freaking
don't-
work
Well,
already?
when I first learned about your photography, I was like, I remember the comment I made, which was like, "It's in like a magazine or something," and you were like, "Oh."
But this guy was like out of nowhere. I'm like,
Yeah, this guy was out of nowhere too, but
Yeah.
I do know how it can affect people and get inside your brain.
Yeah,
little
it
bit,
can,
Like a little
it can.
weasel. Even though it shouldn't.
I say you need a balance though. You need some criticism. You definitely
You
need.
some criticism.
Yeah, it can't be a perfect utopia.
Yeah, you'll be a little snowflake if you don't get
Yeah.
criticized. Like, no, it's cool. Like, I was like, all
Yeah.
right. I forget what he said though. I think it was about the Theragun, and I was like, okay, cool. And I made another video. I was gonna make another video anyway, and I was like, you fools do not understand what this is for, right? So I just made a video to like squash all these dumbass comments, and then I was like, okay, cool. I feel like I said my part, because I had more experience and education about that tool, and I wanted to share that. So, but yeah, like when you go and create content, and it's hard for other people who use, like, say, Twitch or
Mhm.
YouTube as a means of income. Like,
Yeah.
that's their freaking business. That's a little iffy. That's a little hard. But if you can just give yourself a little reality check, which is just to say that social media is a tool,
Mhm.
and you can use it for good, and it can be used for bad, right? Like, I think we can make that argument. That's my argument. It's like, I don't take things personal anymore. I kind of used to. It kind of still stings when you hear something bad about yourself because you put yourself out there. But at the same time, it's it's all just part of the whole flux of a lot of bullshit and noise
Yeah.
that is floating out there on Instagram, and you're just one little tiny speck dot in that big flood,
Mm-hmm.
and life goes on. So
Yeah.
I don't take it personally anymore. And whenever I create for me. I don't care how many likes I get. If it gets a lot of likes, I'm like, cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool that you guys vibe with me on that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make another one anyway. So
We
I'm
have
not gonna
many
frame-
videos.
I'm not gonna frame
Many
this thing.
things that we gotta do. Some like, what's it called?
What do you mean?
Those Theragun videos that you do. Reviews.
Reviews.
Yeah,
I love
review
making
type
reviews.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to do some how-to videos like my little brother. So let's try it.
I still got it. It's in there. I still got to put up, like, I'm taking my time with it. I used to put pressure on myself to put out fun videos that I'm not
Yeah.
going to make money from it. So I'm like, why am I putting pressure on myself? So yeah, when you create content, whether it's for your business or not, have fun with it. Don't
Yeah.
take it personally if people don't vibe with it. Like, if they do, cool.
But how about for couples? It's been about business for again.
I feel like we talked about I feel like it was a
Okay.
good balance between marriage
All
and
right.
business.
So this week was good. This
Yeah.
week was good.
Yeah. Well, we went and also I wanted to mention that you invited me to go out and see what's their name again? Who did we see at Stacy and Jason, right?
Yeah.
We went to go see Stacy and Jason at the Vintage Rose, and that was my first time seeing the venue, so that was cool.
It's my first time seeing the renovation. That was
And the
cool.
renovation that they had going on there. But I like that you invited me, and I like that my typical response would have been no, and I said yes this
Mhm.
time because I want to.
Surprising.
And I surprised myself. I was like, normally I would say no, but I want to keep this thing going where we are a team, and there is Kevin and Meg behind the scenes
Mhm.
running this business and hopefully providing a really good service and support to our clients and team. I want that. I have that image, that romantic image in my brain where it's you and I, husband and wife, creating something together. And so that's my own little personal ambition for the company and how I can still keep being of service. So I said yes. I did that whole process in my
Yeah.
brain when I said yes instead of no. And I was like, that would be cool to kind of come out because I feel like I got validation to come out to that event at
Yeah.
the nursery.
Yeah.
At the nursery to show up together.
And then we have another one next week.
And we have another one next week, right? And so to kind of like keep
The
up
vision.
my vision, you know,
Mhm.
my goal, which is like being on the same team as my husband. I always wanted that since the very beginning, but a whole bunch of shit got in the way and I didn't know how to deal with it. So now I was like, I want to keep going with that, and how can I keep doing better?
Yeah.
So my own self growth of being a team player in the company. And so we were telling Hovik the other day, I was like, yeah, I want to keep connecting, and how can I bring a different side? Because you're very professional, and I can be a balance to you.
Mhm.
So you're more professional, you're a little bit stiffer sometimes, and I want to be a little bit more like loose
Yeah.
to that, a counterbalance to you. That way I don't just mirror you and be stiff.
Well, yeah, it's sort of the same thing that goes through my head of what Hovik mentioned yesterday is that
Right.
you can't be too friendly.
Not too friendly, not
And
too
I feel-
stiff.
Yeah, not
Right.
too stiff, right? So I'm still trying to find that balance, but I feel like for myself,
You just be you, B, and
yeah.
I want to be me
Yeah.
too.
and for
so-
me, I feel like I always been that way. I
I
can't
know.
be
But
because
that's
for me,
why.
I can go 100% too friendly, and
Yeah.
it will freak them out. So I'd rather
you would
not.
never do that.
Yeah, I would never do that,
obviously.
yeah.
You don't even do that with our normal friends, like
Yeah.
our close friends. So I was like, you just be you, but can I add something, right? How
Yeah.
can I add something and still feel like I'm being me?
Yeah.
So, like I just, I remember it was very reminiscent of how we used to do meetings together.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just sit there, like the first one, I just sit there because I'm just observing. But then as we kept doing meetings together, I would add in or our experience as a couple or whatever, something that would be relatable to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started talking about what, like family photo or something like that. And she's half Filipino, so
Mm-hmm.
you know we could vibe that way.
Yeah.
And so I just felt it was cool. It was cool to go to the meeting. They didn't know who I was. Shake hands, like very professional, very like super business. And then at the end, we get hugs.
Yeah.
And I was telling Hovik, I was like, that's my goal, man. If I can get hugs from the clients, 'cause I'm not a very bubbly, like if you compare me to Jenna, I'm not a bubbly, naturally nurturing person. But if I can do a little bit what I'm comfortable with and the client feels that,
Yeah.
cool. Like I feel like I've done my part,
Yeah.
to just, you know, have a nice little feel.
Yeah.
And to keep building little moments like that with our clients. Like, cool, Kevin and Meg care. I want that. I want there to be a subconscious feeling in our clients' mind. Like, oh, they care about us. And, like, we do. Of course we care.
Of course we care.
But sometimes business or whatever, like, it
Just running it gets in the way.
gets in the way,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, how can we still be human? Because we can be machines and run the business like that. We can do that. We've
And
done
then
that.
sometimes you just don't have time left to,
Or
you know,
energy.
energy to go out
It's
and
more like energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
to go meet because you're so exhausted already by
Yeah.
the end of the day. And
Right. And
yeah.
you're like, dude, if I
Yeah,
see
in our daily tasks, we always have something to do.
yeah.
Yeah. A
The work
lot of
does not
things.
stop.
Yeah. It's an endless list, and we just need to enjoy life.
Right.
That it's always going to be there.
Yeah. Your work
Yeah.
will be there tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I've gotten better at that this year, taking more breaks. I used to get migraines from editing because I would just sit there, because I follow your example. Because you just sit there, but you never have any problems. Like one day you felt pain, and you're like, "Oh my God, what is this?" I was like, "Dude, you've never felt pain in your life." Like I've been in constant pain for the last 6 years, and I just thought that was funny. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take breaks, and I don't have to be, 'cause I'm not as I don't have the vitality that you have. That I can sit at the desk for all the time." So I take breaks. I don't get down on myself or feel guilty about taking breaks. I'm like, I'm not going to get a migraine. So bravo, self. So I've been taking more breaks, have had less headaches,
Yeah.
popping less ibuprofen. That doesn't even work. Getting in the gym. We got the gym made, and now I'm like really loving that we have that space. Are we going to do yoga today or no? You already did it.
Yeah, it worked out. Right.
Okay. Guess I'm by myself.
So sad.
So sad. and yeah, so taking more breaks, and by the time like 6 o'clock, because I started like 6:30, 7:30 working now,
Yeah.
I actually am able to sleep in a little bit. I tell myself to stop working by like 6, and then just answer things as they come if I need to, which is great, because usually I would just edit. I'm going to get this whole edit. I don't even have to. I didn't even have to get the whole wedding done in a day, but I would do it. Because whatever, I follow your example. And I'm like, I ain't doing that shit, and I don't feel bad about it.
So what are you looking for this coming week?
I'm looking forward to tasting that. It's been staring at me. And I'm moving a lot better. I hit some PRs
What's that?
in the gym.
What's
Personal
PR?
record.
Oh, okay.
Personal record.
Personal
I thought you were a
record.
gym rat. All right. So I hit some PRs in the gym. I do my I now moved up to 25-pound plates.
Oh.
I mean, I did that a couple of days ago, but like I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
that's pretty
do
dope.
for 1 full month.
I
Take it
thought-
easy.
I think I'm gonna be there for a solid month. I was at like a 10 pounds for a good month. I couldn't for the first like 2 weeks I could only lift the bar. So things are moving along. I think physically for my rehab and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We have our team workshop that's this Saturday, so I'll be organizing that. And then I'll probably be dealing with that, be dealing with a lot of editing, touch-up stuff, and training. That's it. Team building, just keeping it going.
Yeah.
And like we booked we booked a couple weddings this past week.
We
That's
did?
nice.
Wow. No. I don't know.
Yeah, we booked a wedding.
Who?
I mean, I don't remember their names. Christian and Sherry. Yeah.
That was last week.
Christian and Sherry, but I mean, they actually put down the deposit, so
No, they didn't.
they didn't.
You
No,
funny.
they want to. They
You're
were going to.
funny.
Yeah, I'll send them the link. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, no, we're gonna book them. We're gonna book them. And
course.
booked another wedding for Marcus.
Oh yeah.
This guy's fully loaded, man. So we have our video
Whoop-de
team
doo.
loaded.
He's going to deal with something right now.
fully loaded.
Sorry,
yeah.
Marcus.
No, he's good. He's
Okay.
good. He's all right. Things are going well. All clients, I think, are pretty happy.
Be happy, guys. Be
happy, please. We're working really hard for you. Okay.
Appreciate.
Appreciate it. Please. We just want you to be happy. Okay. Okay. And yeah, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, team building on Saturday,
Yeah.
and I get to hang out with my bro from a different mom,
Tony?
Kevin Q.
Oh, Kevin.
Haven't seen you in like a year and a half or 2 years.
Is it nice that you get to hang out with people now?
Yeah, I mean that's because I don't have a wedding this weekend, so that's cool.
Oh, how are you gonna keep balance when it's wedding season?
I don't know.
We can
We
talk
shall
about that.
find out
We
later.
should talk about that.
And
yeah.
then on Sunday, I forget what we were going to do. Maybe just relax. Just
probably.
relax.
Relax.
And then
I
Monday.
got a new game.
Yeah. Monday, I think, just basic routine, catch up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, we get to meet. We're having another, dinner with Michael and Georgia and Amara.
Oh, cool. Okay. Cool.
And then a little event mixer on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then Thursday is Paul and Stella.
Paul and Stella. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
So there's many things. So Monday will probably be where I'll choose photos, getting ready for a blog, do a lot of things. So
cool. Sounds
but
good.
it's a full week of just enjoying this time because it's not crazy yet.
It's
yeah.
not crazy yet.
It's not crazy yet.
Well,
Our January. This is January.
This is
It's been
busy.
crazy.
Well, this is the last day of January, B.
Oh yeah.
This is the 31st today.
But yeah, we did 3 weddings in January, which is
It's pretty busy.
very different
And we're
than
doing
normal.
a workshop, and we've done a lot of in-house stuff.
Yeah, in all of our weddings, it didn't rain in January.
Oh, thank God. We're getting so much rain.
So guys, January's the month.
Be
in
thankful.
Yeah, in SoCal.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know. You don't know next year, man. You don't know.
All right. Well, December as well. December's pretty dry.
Yeah, December's pretty good. It's just a little chilly.
November is really nice.
November's really
October
nice.
is really nice. Half of September is really nice.
Oh, another thing. We're doing our first team. We're gonna host our first team get together, I guess.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out. We're still figuring it out.
But see, that's another thing that we're doing different is trying to do stuff for the team.
Yeah, besides doing an end of year party,
Yeah.
this could be something else.
Something else where we
Yeah.
kind of get out of the house.
Yeah.
Um.
It can just be an activity. It doesn't have to be
Right.
yeah,
Let's do horseback riding.
something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for
for
chiming in.
chiming in. My dad's in the text.
Hey, Dad.
In contrast to previous employ, I worked for a government agency and felt secure for over 20 years until the agency messed up financially, or AG, I don't know. Hustle and have fun with your company. Cheers. Getting Glenlivet 18 at SK. Okay, Dad. I like how my dad creates his own abbreviations. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Mhm.
We'll be back here again next Thursday
Next Thursday.
on Past the Aisle.
Yeah. Ciao.
Ciao. Cheers.
Cheers.
Beep beep beep.